All right, in lesson 5, you learn how to conjugate, and in lesson 6, you learn how to apply those conjugations to different formalities. I made a sentence practice video where you could create sentences that would allow you to practice these different formalities. However, I thought it would be valuable as well to create a video like this, where we're focusing just on the conjugations in the different formalities, and we're not really focusing on the sentences, but more just the verbs and how the verbs would change. I'm going to create this video not by writing it as I normally do by hand, because I really want you to see what things are going to look like, and I'm not going to really draw arrows and really scratch things out and explain stuff with writing. I'm just going to be basically just a one-word answer in each case, so I don't really need to explain things all that much. What I would like you to do in each case is I will allow you to maybe write or create this table on a piece of paper somewhere. And it doesn't even have to look like a table. You can just sort of put almost this verb in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then past, present, future, and then write the correct conjugation in the correct form beside it. And I'll tell you to pause the video, and then you can pause the video and then replay the video or start the video again, and I'll fill in the answers for you, and you can check your answers. The first verb I would like you to try is 노력하다, and try to fill all of these conjugations and formalities out. You can pause the video now and start it again once you've finished. Okay, hopefully you're finished. I'm going to do the present tense first. The informal lo, remember what you want to add is either this or this or this. Now, in each case, you always need to decide which one you're adding, depending on the final syllable in the stem. And in this case, the final syllable in the stem is ha. And if that's the case, you need to add this to it. So this conjugation in this formality would look like this. 노력 ha 여. And as you know, this would most commonly, especially in everyday speaking, but really in all situations, most commonly be changed to he. This would actually be the correct answer for this place here. And it would be the same thing, but with yo at the end for the informal high respect. For the plain form, remember the option is you need to either add this or this followed by ta. So it would either be this and ta or nunda at the end. You need to decide which one you need to add based on, again, the final syllable in the stem. If the final syllable in the stem ends in a vowel, which 노력하다 does, then you need to add this to the stem. If I add that to the stem, it becomes 노력한다. The formal high respect addition, again, you need to decide whether you want to add this or this, and then always you're going to add this after that. So in this case, again, you need to look at the final syllable of the stem, and if it ends in a vowel, which this one does, you need to add this to it. So this letter gets merged directly to the stem, directly to ha in this case, and it's going to be 노력합니다. The past is very similar to the present. In the informal low respect, what I want to do in this case, because it's ha, again, I want to add this to it, and the past tense is going to look like this, and then like that. So it could actually look like 노력하였어, but again, as you know, this ha and then ya very commonly get merged together. So it would most commonly be written as like this, which would be 노력했어. The next conjugation, the informal high respect, would be the exact same, just with yo. And the plain form conjugation would be the exact same, but with ta. And the formal high conjugation would be the same, but with 씁니다 at the end. The future tense, it's very simple for all cases. You need to add this, and then you always need to add that, and then depending on the different formality, you add a little something different, and it's really the same thing as this and as this here. So it's going to be 노력하겠어 for the first one, and then each one after that's going to be very similar. It's going to be 노력하겠어요, 노력하겠다, and 노력하겠습니다. Let's go down to the next verb, 앉다, which means to sit. And right now you can pause the video and try to fill in the correct conjugations for all of these. Okay, hopefully you've gone through and answered and filled out all of these spaces somewhere on a piece of paper. In the present tense, again, we want to add either this or this, and the way or this if it's hada, which it's not in this case. So I know I'm not going to add this one, and you need to decide whether or not you need to add this or this. The way you decide is you look at the vowel in the final syllable of the stem. In this case, the final syllable of the stem is the only part of the stem, which is just this syllable here, and the vowel is a. So that tells me that I need to add this after the stem. So it's going to look like this. And that would be said as anja. The informal high respect conjugation is the same, just with yo. The plain form, as I talked about up here, I need to add either this or this. And as I said up here, you need to decide depending on what the final syllable in the stem looks like. In this case, with 노력하다, the final syllable in the stem ends in a vowel. In this case, the final syllable in the stem ends in a consonant. Therefore, I don't add this, which is what I saw earlier, but instead I add this. So it's going to be 않는다. Now, the formal high respect is going to look very similar to this, except for it's not 않는다, it's 않습니다. Now, in the past tense, I need to add, in this case, again, I need to decide if I want to add this to it or this to it. So I'm really deciding if it's this one or this one. And the same thing, because the final syllable in the stem is a, I don't want to add this, and I want to add this to it instead. So it's going to look like that, and then followed by the informal low ending, which is always the same in each case. It's this, and that, and this one here. And the informal high is going to be the exact same, but with yo at the end. The plain form is going to be the exact same, but with ta at the end. And the formal high is going to be the exact same, but with 씁니다 at the end. In the future tense, again, it's very, very simple. All I need to do is add this, followed by the correct formality. So in this case, it's going to be 않겠어, and then here 않겠어요, and then here 않겠다, and then here 않겠습니다. Let's go down to the next verb, 만지다, which means to touch. And now you can pause the video and try to fill out all of these blanks now. Okay, hopefully you filled in all of these blanks because I'm going to show you what the answers are. I'll start with the present. The informal low, again, I want to decide if I want to add this or this or this. Well, I know it's not this one because 만지다 does not end in hada, so it's not that. Now I need to decide if I need to add this to it or this to it. Because the final syllable in the stem ends in the vowel E, or the final vowel is E, I know that I need to add this one to it. If this, and actually maybe I'll write it out, it's going to be man, G, and then all, but all and G can merge to each other, and it's going to be manjo. The informal high respect is going to be the exact same with yo. The plain form, again, I need to decide if I want to add this or this. And because 만지다, the final syllable ends in a vowel, I'm going to add this to it, and it would look like 만진다. The formal high respect is the same idea here. Again, I need to decide if I want to add this or this. 씁니다. And because 만지다 ends in a vowel, I'm going to add this letter directly to the stem, and it would look like this. 만집니다. In the past tense, very similar to what I saw here, I'm going to see man, G, and then I'm going to add this to it. 만지, 어서, but this ot and this G can merge to each other, and it's you wouldn't write it like this, but instead you would write it like this, and this would say 만졌어. The informal high respect would look the exact same, but with a yo at the end. The plain form would look exactly the same, but with ta at the end. And the formal hi would look exactly the same, but with 씁니다 at the end. I'm just looking up here. I don't know why this is underlined. This would be correct. It's telling me that I should change it to this. That is something else, but this is also, that should be correct. I don't know why that's underlined. All my other stuff is not being underlined, but if I look at the future tense here, again, it's very simple and very similar. I want to add this, and then depending on the right formality, I would either add or 어요 or 다 or 씁니다 after that. It's going to be 만지했어, and then 만지겠어요, and then 만지겠다, and then 만지겠습니다. For 자다, the verb to sleep, I would like you to try to conjugate this verb into all of these spaces, and you can pause the video now. Okay. If I would start in the present tense again, in the informal lo, again, you know that I need to add this or this or this to it. This does not end in hada, so it's not going to be this one. Because the final syllable in the stem is a, I know that I need to add this to it. And if ta and a get added together, well, it actually gets merged entirely to it, and it just becomes ta. The informal high respect is the exact same, but with yo at the end. The plain form will be 탄다. The formal high respect will be 탑니다. And in the past tense, again, I want to have ta, and what's going to be added to it is this, followed by that, and this at and ta can merge to each other, so it's not going to be ta asso, but actually just 잤어. The informal high would be the exact same, but with yo at the end. The plain form would be the exact same, but with ta at the end, and the formal high would be the exact same, but with 씁니다 at the end. The future tense is all the exact same as we saw up here, just with a different ending at the end. I would have 자겠어, 자겠어요, 자겠다, and 자겠습니다. The next verb I would like you to try is 배우다, which means to learn. You can pause the video now and fill out all these blanks. Okay, hopefully you finished filling all these blanks somewhere on a piece of paper. The present tense, again, I want to add this or this to it. This verb does not end in hada, so it's not going to be this one. Because the final syllable in the stem is u, that tells me I have to add this to it. Now if I have 배우 and I add that, this all actually gets merged to u, and what happens is it's not 배우 all, it's just 배워. The informal high respect in the present tense would be exactly the same, but with yo. The plain form, I'm going to add this to the stem, so it's going to look like 배운다. And the formal high, I'm going to add this to the stem, so it's going to look like 배웁니다. In the past tense, what I want to do is I'm going to have the stem 배우, and I'm going to add the addition, the past tense addition of either at or ot, and then followed by a here. Now in this case, again, I need to decide if I'm going to add this or this. Because the final vowel in the stem ends in u, I know that I need to add this to it. So it could be 배웠어, but this a and this u can merge to each other. So actually it could be 배웠 like that, and it would be 배웠어. I could do the same thing here and put yo at the end. I could do the same thing here and put ta at the end, and I can do the same thing here and put 씁니다 at the end. The future is going to be the same in every case as we saw up here, just with a different formality. It would be 배우겠어, and then I'll just copy this because I know it's going to be the same. 배우겠어요, and then 배우겠다, and then 배우겠습니다. The final verb I would like you to try is 오다, which means to come, and you can pause the video now. Okay, in the present tense, if I have the stem o, I need to add this to it, and these two can merge to each other, and I get wa. In the informal hi, it's going to look the exact same, but with yo at the end. Because oda ends in, or the stem ends in a vowel, I'm going to have o, and I'm going to add this to it, so it's going to be onda. The formal hi is going to be the same, very similar to this, but instead of being this letter, it's going to be this letter, followed by nida. So this says 옵니다. In the past tense, very similar to this, I'm going to have o, and what I'm going to add to it is that, followed by that. Now this and this can merge to each other. So you could actually write it as 오왔어, but these two can merge and can be 왔어. The informal hi looks exactly the same, but it's 왔어요. The plain form looks exactly the same, but it's just 왔다. And the formal hi respect is the same, but it's 왔습니다. The future tense is the same in every case as we saw before, but again, different because of the different endings that we see here because of the formalities. It's going to be 오겠어, 오겠어요, 오겠다, and 오겠습니다. Hopefully this little exercise helped you with your conjugations. I plan on doing another video like this for the irregular conjugations in lesson 7. I hope you learned a lot.